Yo, welcome back to the Inner Circle. Today I'm bringing you RoDL Season 4, Week 2 against Erflab and the Colorado Aggrons. This should be a great matchup, so I'm excited to share it with you guys, and I'm looking forward to the rest of my draft league content that I have coming in the future. There's another league starting up here. The draft is actually today when I'm recording this, so you should start to see content in the next few weeks. If you enjoy my content, stick around, subscribe, leave a like, and I hope I continue to produce content that you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this battle. Alright, here we are with the battle. Let's look at what he is bringing. For those of you that are watching on YouTube afterwards, this is a Twitch VOD. You can check me out at twitch.tv/Bosif. And cool, he's got Zygarde Pharaoh. No Incin, so that's nice. Vape, Ribombee, Uxie, and Ninetales. So we'll go ahead and write those down. We could lead off with the B. The B is a possibility. Gengar looks just really good all around against this team. Doesn't give me momentum. Yeah, let's go. Let's just lead off with the safe Cinderace so we can get some momentum with. Good luck. Earth. Let's get into this. Ninetales is here. So Gengar would have been fine. Cinderace is great as well. There's the snow warning. He has only a couple switch-ins to Pyro. And can't really do a whole lot to me. Pyro can burn his switch-ins would be good. Which would be good. Let's just do it immediately. Zygarde or Vaporeon. Probably Vape coming in. I don't... Unless he's Scarf, he doesn't... Or not Scarf. Hey, Sam. Yes, rip on top. Too bad I had to drop it. Stay tuned for next week, folks. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Vape is his best switch in here. I was gonna say, I don't think he stays in unless he's Sash, so probably Sash for Veil. No, he just dies. Okay, we take those. We take those. Take a little bit of chip from the hail. Vaporeon is here. So we'll take a little bit of chip on that. See if it's, we'll get to see if it's lefties or, like, not helmet, so that's good. Toxic. I kind of figured it would do a Toxic, throw off a Toxic. It's kind of free against everything other than Gengar on my team because I didn't bring the Metagross this week, which, stay tuned, you won't be seeing it ever again. This could be like a pretty obvious protect play. I do learn that it's lefties there. I guess I wasn't... Maybe that was my lefties. I wasn't paying attention. Full disclosure, I wasn't paying attention. I heard the lefties go off from somebody. So... let's just see what he wants to do. If he goes Pharaoh, that's a good play. A real good play if he goes Pharaoh. He goes Uxie. Okay. So we're going to get a Toxic off on the Uxie, assuming we hit. Alright, so that's huge. That's great for us. Put that thing on a timer, because it's one of the only things that can stop Hitmontop in the back. So we do learn that Uxie is lefties. Low-key just saw my own stream back and saw the Vaporeon did have the lefties. We gotta keep Crook alive and well. And we really do need Rotom for the Vaporeon. So let's make a switch and learn what this Uxie is all about. I don't really want to go into Slurpuff, but I think it's like a neutral ground here. And what I'm actually going to do now is Calm Mind. Damn, imagine dropping Metagross. Couldn't be me. Let's see what this Uxie wants to do. Future Sight. Okay. I don't think we learned much from the knockoff. I'm curious if this Vaporeon has Haze. That was my biggest concern with this set. We're actually just gonna fully go for it here, I think. See what this thing has to offer. It could T-Wave. Just in case. Just in case, or not T-Wave, Stun Spore. Fuck. Okay, Toxic. See, that's why we had the Lumberry. Oh, we should have just Calm-Minded there. We had the Lumberry to prevent us, but they knocked it off, obviously. Okay, that doesn't do much. I think we just kill this here. Because we don't want to get chipped down anymore. He makes a switch. Vaporeon comes in. Again, we get to see if it's got haze. We're going to Draining Kiss. Even with one Calm Mind up, that doesn't do a whole lot. But we get a lot of heals back. So we'll get to learn if it's haze once again here. I'm going to Calm Mind in case he protects. He doesn't protect. So potential haze or maybe a wish. Really wish that we had that Lumberry. So there's the wish. So that first Draining Kiss didn't do much. So again, we're playing around with protect turns here. Obviously, I have to assume he's going to protect here. He doesn't. See what he does. Skull doesn't do much. But this Toxic is really going to start hurting here. So we know he has Wish, Toxic, Scald. We go down. Damn, I thought we had one more turn. So that one's on me. But we basically made the Rabambi's essentially dead. And the Uxi's super weak because it's Toxic. There's the Protect. So it did have Protect. Alright, so I'm going to make a prediction here. If he goes Uxie or Pharaoh, good play. Because I am going to Toxic. Does withdraw. There's the Pharaoh. Okay. That's fine. Rotom doesn't really do anything to Pharaoh. This is... Last week I wanted Thunderbolt, this week I want Volt Switch. You never have it both ways. I'm gonna make the Hitmontop play. Losing lefties sucks. We're gonna bulk up. Man, he brought Toxic on every Pokemon. Rabambi, Vaporeon, and Pharaoh all have Toxic. I really didn't think he'd stay in. See what he does. Hopefully he doesn't have Protect, because we brought High Jump Kick. He doesn't have a switch in with Uxie chipped. He withdraws. Bombi. We better hit. I swear to God. We do hit. Rambi goes down. That's a good sack by him. So hopefully it only has Future Sight. We'll find out. Yeah. There's a Future Sight. One time? Are you kidding me? This Toxic's really starting to work us. But we're getting closer and closer to a Cinderace endgame. We can hit more than once, thanks. Three times will kill. Let's go. Alright, Hitmontop taking down Uxie. We've only lost our Slurp up so far, if I recall correctly. So he's got Zygarde, Pharaoh, and Vaporeon left. Just looking over at all my stats over here. Goes Pharaoh. He's either faking a Protect or he actually has it. I don't know what button he'd press if he was faking. But just in case he is, we can save Hitmontop as a... I don't even know what would get sacked to. Actually, no, I don't think we do that. I think we just go for it. Hope he doesn't have Protect. He might. He does. So we lose Hitmontop, but that's okay because it gives us a free into Cinderace, which is why I did this. We could have gotten free, obviously, because he had Protect. We could have gotten a free in to Cinderace regardless. But we're going to die from Rocks into Poison probably after a turn or two, and we already know Vaporeon and Ferrothorn both have Protect. So I don't think, in the end, I don't think that play mattered. So we do throw off the Pyro. Unless it's Sash, it's dead. Well, it's not Sash. Definitely dead. So there goes Pharaoh. Zygarde comes in. Cinderace isn't super useful anymore. And I don't think he would bring Scarf against me. He very well could, but Cinderace doesn't do anything against a Scarf Zygarde or a Vaporeon for the most part anymore anyway. So we're either going to get Chip. Okay, so it's not Scarf. So we'll get some Chip here. A little bit of Chip. And we do have our dedicated switch left still. Alive and well. Steve, shout out to the great Steve Irwin. We're going to intimidate the Zygarde. It is DD. I was more scared of a coil set, to be honest. So we're going to go ahead and take its item. Whatever it is. This Crook is a dedicated switch to Zygarde. That's what it's built for. It should be able to handle any set. Neutral Outrage is not doing enough. We're going to go ahead and take your item. That is not going to 3-hit KO us unless... I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. He does snap out of the Outrage there, which is actually unfortunate for us because we could have guaranteed killed it. Now we may take damage again. Actually, I guess it is fortunate because there's a chance that we don't take damage again. So we'll just go ahead and Earthquake. He does Outrage, so that won't kill. So we do claim the kill on the Zygarde there. All he has left is Vaporeon, and we still have Cinderace, Gengar, and Rotom Wash. And she can't do... We'll see how much damage Gengar does. We're going to go ahead and take its item, so it doesn't get that passive heals anymore, and we're going to sack off Crook. That's great damage. Scald. And we will go into our Gengar to claim the last kill of the game, and that should do it, folks. This should kill. I didn't run calcs to see if it was max Spadef, but I don't think it was. There it is. All right. So that is a solid 3-0 victory here in week 2 of RoDL. I felt pretty good about that one overall. I felt mostly in control for a lot of that match. The toxic damage really did start to wear down on all of my mons. So all that toxic protect that he brought helped him out a lot, that's for sure. Oops, went too far back. Let's take a look at the team. All right. So we have, as you can see here, the Gengar. It only saw the field right at the end, but that's all it needed to do. It was Specs, and I brought Specs last week. I'm really glad that I got Gengar in here. I teased it, but I did drop Gengar here after this week. Unfortunate. Actually, we'll get to another mon that's unfortunate as well. I'll just spoil it now. We dropped Gengar, Metagross, Crocodile, or not Crocodile. Oh, whew, not Crocodile. Hitmontop, and Executor Lola, and Executor never made it to a battle. Unfortunate, because I really do like using that mon. It's a fun Pokemon to play around with, especially when I had it on a Sun team in Season 2, because you could get that Harvest synergy going. But yeah, those are the 4 mons I dropped, and we added, spoiler alert, my boy's coming back, alright. We added Aegislash back to the team. On top of Aegislash, we added Celebi, who I love to use in draft. I think it's underrated. I don't know, I really enjoy using it. It's got a lot of great options. It can set rocks, which is unique for not, steel ground rock type. It gets momentum, which is great for my team, adding more momentum. I don't know, I really love Celebi. So that was the rocker to replace Metagross. And then the last real mon that we added to the team is Tornadus Eye. Horny Eye. So that adds us another Defogger and a Prankster one at that. So that's pretty nice. It also fills my speed gap between Cinderace and Celebi. Sits right in the middle there, which is great. So I really like adding the Tornadus. It also helps to kind of replace Gengar on the special attack pressure side. So that's really nice. And then the last mon we added is Carkol. Because frankly, it's just a solid 1-pointer, and I only had 1 point left. It can essentially set rocks or spin, and from a 1-pointer, that's really great. And I needed a flying resist. So, anyways, sorry, I was reading a Discord message. Back to the team here. So, as I said, we brought Gengar, and I was really happy to get it in its last battle on the team. I think Gengar is an amazing pick for the point value. Nothing against Gengar. I would have loved to have kept it, but I think there were just a few things with this team that it didn't really fit my playstyle very well. Metagross is just like I don't know, it's like a weird mon for me. I've now drafted it in 2 leagues of my 14 leagues that I've played in, and I've dropped it both times because I don't know, I don't enjoy playing with Metagross, so I got rid of the Metagross, and I think I just pretty much raw upgraded my my Ghost, my Steel, my Grass. So, I mean, Gengar is a fantastic Ghost, but it's Aegislash, and I love Aegislash. So, that's that. Let's not ponder on that anymore. Let's just move right on. Here's the Gengar. It was basically max attack, or max special attack, max speed. It was timid. There was only 8 EVs in HP. We were Specs, and you saw the Energy Ball, but we were just basically classic coverage. Shadow Ball for basically everything, because really his only resist for Shadow Ball. We're an Incineroar. So, yeah, that was the main draw to a Spec set, because we could basically just click Shadow Ball. And that's why I said in the beginning, oh great, there's no Incineroars, because that means free Shadow Balls for me. But yeah, the energy ball came in clutch for the Vaporeon, Focus Blast for Pharaoh and Incin, Sludge Wave for the Ninetales, the Ribombee. Generally Gengar just matched up really well here. Next we have Crook. Crook put in a ton of work. So, like I said, this was the dedicated Zygarde answer. Um, so the set, which you only got to see Knock and Earthquake, the set was 200 HP. There were 200 EVs in HP. It was 216 attack. It was an impish nature with 92 defense, and we were rocking the leftovers just to get that passive healing against Zygarde, which really helped us to live those outrages. Without it, we could not have taken all those. So you can see the set here. Knock off Earthquake. Basically, the 216 attack guaranteed that we broke subs on a bulky Zygarde, so that was great. The Roar was for a Coil Zygarde or a sub Zygarde, so we could just roar it out, and Stealth Rocks would have been great to have gotten set up. Roar kind of just like covered all of the setup options, and then Crook in general, switching in on a Zygarde with the Intimidate, covered the Dragon Dance set for the most part. And if it had gotten to +1, we would have been able to roar it out, or we would have tried to roar it out. So that is the Crocodile and why we built it that way. It was 100% to check Zygarde. So let's move on. Slurpuff. Slurpuff had a really great matchup this week. Obviously, the Toxic wore us down, and that's why we had Lumberry, but we unfortunately had to take that knockoff to the Uxie. I didn't have really a great switch into Uxie, and it can do a lot of different things, so I was kind of forced to go into Slurpuff to scout it. I'm honestly happy out of everything that it was Slurpuff to get knocked off, because that does, unfortunately, that does mean that we lose a Lum, but I believe that does trigger our Unburden still. So in the end, we got our speed boost out of it still. We did end up dying to the Toxic, but this Cotton Guard Calm Mindset really just puts in a lot of work against his team. It checks Zygarde, it checks Ferrothorn as a fairy, which is kind of nuts because once you get up to Cotton Guard, the Gyro Balls aren't doing much. And then you can just kind of Calm Mind and into Flamethrower on it. We sort of check Incineroar as well. I'd say we do check Incineroar. Ninetales can hit us, depending on the set. Before we get Calm Minds up, it could hit us. Vaporeon with Haze is what I was worried about, like I said. Because that Vaporeon basically walled us, and that's what it did, right? It came in and walled us. I did think we had one more Toxic turn, so that was a misplay on my part to not just Draining Kiss there. Because we would have lived another turn. But again, he had so many mons with Protect that I don't think in the end that was really all that critical. And then, I'm going to just run through the whole list, right? It looked really good against Ribombee as well. And I was really hoping that Flamethrower would Oko. I think it was a roll, and I think I got a min roll. Depending on how much HP investment it had, which couldn't have been a lot because it needed to outspeed Cinderace. So yeah, again, it looked good against the Uxie, Electivire, and Piloswine. Just overall, I think it was a really great set. And I've never used Slurpuff before, but I actually quite enjoy using it so far, and I'm glad that it's my fairy for this team. So let's move on. Hop on top! Sorry, buddy. I'm sorry I had to drop you. This is the Hitmontop. It had a great matchup this week as an offensive Hitmontop. So we were Max Attack Adamant. We had Technician, which you could have guessed probably since you didn't see the Intimidate pop off. We were 240 HP, 16 speed. We did get the leftovers knocked off, which was unfortunate. And that one hit on the triple axle was kind of brutal. But we did get the 3 hits next turn, or the next time I used it to take out the Uxie, which is great. Again, I think that high jump kick play mid-match didn't really matter in the end. We were bulk up, triple axle, bullet punch, high jump kick. So triple axle boosting from Technician is crazy. That did so much damage to Uxie. And the bullet punch boosted from Technician at +1 guaranteed killed Rabombi and the Ninetales. So that looked really great. Everything that we were going to click high jump kick against, we outsped, which was fantastic as well. But he brought so much protect that in the end, that didn't matter. We would have obviously been better off with close combat there, but that is okay. We wanted to still be able. We didn't bring close combat because we wanted to still be able to beat Zygarde, and getting down to -1 or -2 and then having to take an outrage would not have been ideal. We probably would have died. So yeah, that is the reason we brought this set, and I think it put on a pretty good showing. And unfortunately, it will head back into free agency. I will miss Hitmontop. Will miss Hitmontop. Rip Hitmontop. Anyways, moving on. Cinderace. I don't think there's much of a need to say anything about Cinderace. It's a fantastic Pokemon. We were jolly. You saw the heavy-duty boots because we didn't take Stealth Rocks. 176 speed, max attack, and 80 in HP. Pretty basic Cinderace set. You turn high jump kick, Pyro Ball, and kind of didn't know what to put as my fourth, so I just threw Court Change on there. Yeah, just overall covered his team pretty well, and got chip on a lot of stuff. Took out the Ninetales turn 1, took out the Ferrothorn. Good work by Cinderace. And then, obviously, last but not least, is the Rotom Wash. Rotom, it didn't do like a whole lot of work, but it did get a Toxic off on Uxie, which was great. It was basically a full-on check to Vaporeon. The only way Vaporeon could beat it was the Toxic Protect set, which it did bring. So it could have beat Vaporeon in the end, potentially. But we were able to chip that Vaporeon down enough for Energy Ball to finish it off from Gengar. Overall, this set worked pretty well for us. Obviously, Zygarde would have been a problem with that 1,000 arrows. We were 248 HP, 204 defense, bold nature, and 48 speed. There was also 8 special attack, the leftovers there. So yeah, we ended up 3-0ing with Cinderace, Gengar, and Rotom surviving. So yeah, that's gonna do it for week 2. That puts us at 1-1. Did I lose 4-0 or 3-0? I'm checking. Did I lose 4-0 or 3-0? I lost 3-0 week 1, so that puts us at 1-1 at an even 0 differential. And yeah, so that's going to bring us to the end here. That was a solid game overall. I'm pretty happy with the result, and I'm looking forward to using the new team next week. So as I said, we'll just recap that here real quick. I am dropping the Gengar, unfortunately. So the Gengar is going to go. Along with the Gengar, we are losing our Metagross. We are losing our Executor Lola that never even saw the field. And then Rip Montop, the Hitmontop. Rip Hitmontop. Honestly, that's my biggest loss out of those Mons, is losing Hitmontop. But I think the team that we're bringing in to replace them is basically raw upgrades all around. So we've got Aegislash, who I've used the past 2 seasons and done very well with it. I'm very comfortable with using that Mon. And then we've got Celebi, which I love using in draft. And then finish it off with the Tornadus Eye. I haven't used Tornadus Eye in draft before, but it fills that speed gap really nicely. It's got that Prankster Defog, and it sort of makes up for losing Gengar with that high special attack side, or high special attack stat. And then our last mon is Carkol, which again, like I said earlier, it's a 1 point mon, so you can't expect a whole lot of out of it. But as a 1 pointer, getting access to rapid spin and getting access to setting rocks is actually really great out of a 1 pointer, and it's the flying resist that I needed. So I think overall that was a solid 1 pointer to add to the team. All right, enough rambling. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for joining the inner circle, and we will catch you next time.